Do you think he's an asset or a liability, Paul?
Well, I think he has been a massive asset and he's become a massive liability in some ways, but that doesn't mean that he'll stay a massive liability. And I think at this point in the election cycle, there needs to be another, over 20, around 20 MPs that need to declare that they've no confidence in him for there to be a leadership election. So I think most MPs will be holding the line at the moment, determining, will this get any worse? And I suspect it won't, actually. This is probably, the Sue Gray report doesn't add much, other than detail, it doesn't add much more to the party problem. And I think that in a sense, it doesn't appear like there's more damage to be done. So this is probably a flesh wound in the body politic, and it is damaging trust, but it hasn't so damaged trust that people are prepared to, leave him wholesale, I guess.
So in your view, the things that he's an asset, because you said he's both, a bit of both, what would you say? What are his highlights?
Well, the highlights are things like the vaccination programme, and the latest one, of course, is his stance on Ukraine, which has been very, very robust. And of course, the cost of living crisis is one of those things where we're not quite sure yet, because it's just happening, and they've only started to put things in place like the money for support for heating bills and so on. So they're only just starting to respond to that properly. And I think, therefore, the jury's still out on how he's doing on that. But he has done a great job on, some would argue not on Brexit, but he unblocked Brexit in a way that the two previous prime ministers couldn't. So I think that's an asset in his favour. But of course, against him is this idea that this is a government that doesn't behave according to the rules like every other government does and should. And I think that is doing, that has the potential to erode trust enormously. And if it stays that way, then I think he would be removed from the leadership in due course. But I think the jury's still out on whether he's that or not. So you ask a great question, but I think it's too early in the election cycle for anything definitive to happen.